I really don't know what's the sadder story in football. Brazil's decline at the World Cup on the international stage, where it seems like, that whenever the World Cup knockouts roll around, it always seems like that there's that one team that can always, just manage to get a win over Brazil, or Manchester United's decline in the Premier League, where it feels like opposing teams have figured out how to stop Manchester United. And that's the kind of thing I want to talk to you about today because, first of all, Van de Beek's debut and his performance today with Everton proves my point that he was not being used right at United and that he was just really being untreated unfairly. And that's the thing with Manchester United is, if I told somebody 9 years ago that, Manchester United would be struggling in 2020, then I would probably be called every name in the book. People would say I'm crazy. They're saying that, that I don't know anything about football, this and that. But here we are, 2022, and it's going to be exactly 9 years since Manchester United last won a league title. And, who would have ever thought that, the day that Sir Alex Ferguson left the club would forever be the day that, United would never, ever be the same team again. And that's the thing I kind of want to talk to you about because it just feels like to me right now that Manchester United are always looking for ways, to blame who's to blame, for every week for teams for their performance if they don't win games, whether it's the manager's fault, whether it's the player's fault. But here's, in my opinion, the honest truth, Manchester United don't have the proper leadership. Okay, that's what I feel like is the reason why Manchester United are struggling so much. One player that can really, just motivate the players, like, for example, Nemanja Vidic, he was able to motivate the players at Manchester United, and he's personally my favorite Premier League player of this past decade. Despite me being a Bayern fan, I always had a lot of love and respect for Nemanja Vidic just because his fiery attitude, and his passion on the pitch was a big reason why I think United were also a good team. That guy was the definition, in my opinion, of a team captain. That's why I have so much respect and love for Nemanja Vidic, is because of, just his incredible attitude for Manchester United, in terms of his on the pitch attitude and just his command in defense, his leadership abilities. Like, that's a type of player that I feel like Manchester United have been lacking in recent years from the time that Vidic left the club. And, I personally feel like that Vidic nowadays, now, this is just my personal opinion, I think Vidic, is a way better defender than the majority of Premier League defenders nowadays, because I really feel like nowadays that there's only like two really good defenders in the Premier League, and the rest are either, kind of inconsistent at times. But, my point is that I feel like that, in other words, that Vidic, I would take Nemanja Vidic over any other Premier League defender today, just because people just don't understand how incredible Nemanja Vidic was if you grew up watching the Premier League. If you were watching Premier League football from 2003 all the way up until 2011, then you'll probably understand just how incredibly good Nemanja Vidic was. And that's the thing about Manchester United. That's the reason why I personally think Manchester United are struggling so much as a club, is because they don't have that type of player, like Vidic, that can really motivate the team, and that can really fire up the club, get these players to play with a sense of urgency, a sense of motivation. And that's why I personally feel like is the reason why United have been struggling a lot, because it's either the fault of the manager or it's either the fault of a certain player. But here's the honest truth, like I said before, United just lack a leadership anymore. And it seems like right now that I personally myself would not be surprised if Cristiano Ronaldo wanted to force a move out of Old Trafford by the time summer hits, is because I've also been reading on the articles. Well, it depends on the credibility of the sports articles as well. I've also been reading at times that Cristiano Ronaldo looks frustrated, that Cristiano Ronaldo seems to be frustrated at Old Trafford. And, I also feel like it's not fair to Cristiano Ronaldo, because it's very easy for people, to point the finger at Cristiano Ronaldo. And I personally think it's ridiculous that people on Twitter are pointing the finger at Cristiano Ronaldo as if he was supposed to come here with his magic wand and just instantly turn United around. Like, unfortunately, that just does not work that way. Okay, it just doesn't. Everybody was hyped that when Cristiano Ronaldo came to the club, when Varane came to the club, at that point, everybody was singing, we want Bayern, we want this, we want that, Champions League. But here we are, Manchester United still struggling. And I'm just going to be surprised to see if this team will even last in the Champions League, because, now this is not me, talking smack. I'm just being realistic here. I'm just trying to figure out how can this United squad even last in the Champions League. They're going to continue, just to find ways to blame either the manager or the players, instead of, coming together with a plan or coming together as a team and, just really being able to to, find ways to just work together as a team, and have that team chemistry. Because I guarantee you that I personally feel like that if Vidic came out of retirement today and, he put on another Manchester United kid, I personally myself think he would be able to help motivate the team and the players around, and really just, tell the players to go out there, compete, just give it their all. And, that's what I think would happen with Manchester United, if Vidic came out of retirement. Now, of course, this is just a hypothetical theory, because obviously Vidic, he hasn't played football in 5 years now, and, he's already retired, he's past his prime, and obviously, his body is not the same as it used to be, 15 years ago. His body is worn out. But I feel like that Vidic would put up a better performance than the majority of these Manchester United players, And that's what I just feel like that United is the reason why United have been struggling a lot, is because unless they can find that Vidic type player again, whether it's a striker, besides Cristiano Ronaldo, a defender, a center back, that can really just motivate the team, the club, and really earn the coach's trust and be worthy of being a team captain, then I think that until then United are going to continue to just be a complete laughing stock right now in the Premier League, and just this game has proven it, So obviously, like I said before, I would not be surprised if Ronaldo wanted to leave Old Trafford by the time summer arrives, because, Cristiano Ronaldo, if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to be part of this current, mess at Manchester United, because that's the best way that I can describe the current situation at Manchester United. Just a complete mess, lack of leadership, no motivation to compete, except that it's just a club where players, just are... It seems like that, they show up when they want to show up. That's basically the thing I'm trying to say, just to sound more appropriate here. Because, no excuses for United to have all these players, Ronaldo, Varane, even Van de Beek when they got him, and for them to still not be able to produce results that, it makes you really wonder, how the heck was this team even able to win, to claim the number 2 spot in the Premier League last season, if they're going to continue to play like this every week out there, it seems like, on the pitch. So... I really just don't know what else I'm supposed to say, except that United just continuing to be that same old song and dance, just you thinking that they're going to be good, only for them just to completely just crap the bed, against, teams that they were able just to wipe the floor with, 15 years ago. That is just really sad, because for a team that made the Premier League such a very intimidating league, it just seems like that now that they've really just made it look super freaking easy for these teams just to come in here and, just be able to even make these unknown players that nobody knows about, all of a sudden look like the next De Bruyne or the next prime Ronaldo. That's what it just seems like that United have become lately, in terms of whether it's because they just don't know how to defend anymore or whatnot. I don't know. I really don't know what else I'm supposed to say, but let me know, what do you think is the reason for Manchester United's decline in the comment section below. And stay tuned for more football videos, ladies and gents. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace.